And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. Let's get there. Hit subscribe, watch, comment. Please keep those comments coming and share with your friends because the crazy, it's not stopping. Yesterday, Trump pulled out the old classic 2-week plan for Iran. Fox News isn't sure how to react. Literally, Jackie Heinrich was on Fox saying that Trump is considering all options with Iran, hinting that he may even consider, get a load of this one, he may even consider nuclear warfare. Play the clip.
To senior White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich, fresh from the White House briefing. Hi, Jackie.
Hey, Martha. There have been a lot of headlines this afternoon, including one from The Guardian that claimed that the U.S. military has doubts about whether the bunker buster bombs could get the job done, and further claiming that only a tactical nuke maybe could finish it. And it further stated that the president is not considering a tactical nuke, that it was not one of the options that was presented to him. I was just told by a top official here that none of that report is true, that none of the options are off the table, and the U.S. military is very confident that bunker busters could get the job done at Fordo. The president is giving...
Yeah, this is the whole problem. Again, you have a whole group of sycophants that are there, and yet everybody's trying to outdo the other. What they're doing is they're actually saying things, one, that they shouldn't be saying. Two, they're making up their own stuff, and they're putting the president behind the 8 ball in one of the most serious scenarios that this country and the world could be facing at this given time. Why can't they stay on message? I mean, that's the whole thing that the GOP is so great at. And Trump, they put out every single day those talking points. The enabler, the sycophant, the insider that's making these statements, that's causing this damage and this chaos in the White House, needs to be shit canned, and immediately. Too much is riding on it. Meanwhile, a Fox guest claimed that Trump is running one of the best deception operations. Play the clip.
You have Caroline Leavitt saying 2 weeks, within 2 weeks. So theoretically, that could mean we still strike Fordo tomorrow. At the same time, President Trump has always been loath to broadcast plans ahead of time. I think there could be some strategy here, but what do you think is going on with the broadcasting of the 2 weeks timeline?
Yeah, Kaylee, I agree with you. I mean, I think the president last week ran one of the greatest deception operations since Operation Overlord, when the United States fooled the Nazis into thinking that we were not going to invade at Normandy. He was involved in that, and as a result of that, the Israelis found the IRGC commanders and top personnel literally and figuratively in their beds last Thursday night. So the president could be, again, involved in deception. He likes to keep their enemy off balance. He's offering negotiations. He's been offering that for weeks, and the Iranians have been rejecting that and rejecting multiple U.S. offers. So he could be opening the path for Oman, where the negotiations are set to take place, or opening the path for Fordo, where B-2 bombers could drop massive ordnance penetrators.
You see, the problem with people like this guy, Mark Dubowitz, he has zero clue what he's talking about. First of all, Trump keeps everybody off balance because you don't know where he's coming from and what he intends to do. Yeah, he's talking about making a deal. Does anybody know what the deal is? The answer to that is no. Why? Because Trump will change his mind right now from what he was thinking about yesterday. And not everybody's in on it. That's why they all need to sit back, shut their mouths, all right, and stop trying to figure him out. They're never going to be able to, ever. Meanwhile, Jesse Waters then railed on Obama and then claimed that he could act smart if he wanted to. Play that clip.
Watching him with his legs crossed, emasculated after the Michelle Obama podcast, it's like, come on. I could act smart if I wanted to. I could sound really smart. I choose not to. I just choose to act honest. That didn't sound very good. But this...
No, it didn't, because Jesse, with all due respect, you're an idiot. Actually, with no respect, you're truly an idiot. All right? Everything doesn't have to be ass-kissing. You don't have to be that robotic bobblehead that every time the GOP or even the president says something, the head just starts bobbing, right? You can actually say no to the president. You could tell him, I don't think that's a good policy. I did it. Many people in the first term did it. And you know what? Here's the funny thing. He actually respects that. He's not really looking, despite what people think, he's not looking for yes men. He's going to do what he wants anyway, but at least he'll take into consideration what you're saying. You see, but you wouldn't know that because you don't even know him. But you turn around and you think you're defending him. You're not. You're just making yourself look stupid. And later, Jesse Stupid Waters had a guest on his show who absolutely fucking wrecked him. Play the clip.
Upper midterms, and that's something that they're not doing.
Barack Obama can't get Trump's name out of his mouth. Everywhere he goes is Trump, Trump, Trump. What's wrong with Barack?
Well, guess what? The same thing is wrong with Trump. They keep talking about Barack Obama. They talked about Barack, or how you've been talking about him the last 30 minutes, or all of the Republicans. Just to be honest with you, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, Jesse. You know, one minute you say Barack Obama's too classy, and the next minute y'all say Representative Crockett is too over the top. So which one do you want? Should they meet you where you are, meet you where you're at, which I agree with. You want to get ugly? Let's get ugly. You want to be polite? Let's go Barack Obama. To be honest with you, I agree. The 2008 and 2012 strategies don't work anymore. You need to fight fire with fire. And it appears that Representative Jasmine Crockett, who I know you folks love talking about her, she seems to be meeting Trump right where he's at with the same type of rhetoric.
All right, well.
No. Actually, both of you are wrong. The reason that Barack Obama is currently talking about Trump, it's not Trump derangement syndrome. No. It's because Trump is the president of the United States, and there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in America. Now, meanwhile, other Fox hosts claim that they believe California could go red. Play that clip.
As we've been subjected to the current governor of California's theatrics, taunting the president, daring him to arrest him, right, saying a lot of mealy-mouthed things while failing to govern or protect his own citizens. It's a stark contrast with the former governor. I really miss Governor Schwarzenegger. As a Californian, I can say that. Will they sit down, do you think, and have a conversation?
Well, I mean, I think that I think California could go red. I really do. And I think that, you know, I know Steve Hilton is running for governor there, but I do believe there's going to be a big sea change, not just in Los Angeles, but also in the state of California, because they've had it. Their state has been overrun, as you know, as many states in this country have been, to your point about Georgia, here in New York.
Yeah. Look, let me be very, very clear. Can California go red? I mean, anything is possible. Not currently, especially with ICE. Not currently with Department of Homeland Security with the way that they're acting. I highly, highly doubt it. But I don't know. Anything could certainly happen, right? Meanwhile, Kevin Hassett said that Trump went over the tax bill line by line. Play that clip.
I got to tell you, I've seen you stick up for President Trump on shows on Fox, and I got to say that the things that you've been saying, I'll confirm about the meeting today. We're going over the tax bill basically line by line at his desk, and he had things to say about all the nuances of the tax bill. And so he is digging into the weeds. He is getting briefed on everything. It's the complete opposite of the previous administration under President Biden. And he's doing this because he's trying to make America great again, and he's trying to, you know, make wages great again and reduce inequality and make growth, break records.
You know, I wish to God that I remembered the name, and I have to look it up, but I wish I had the name for that disease where you can't stop laughing, like the Joker, right, from the movie. He just can't stop laughing. He has that sort of uncontrollable. Kevin Hassett, to me, is a moron. I mean, he's just like laughing at what? That Trump went over the bill line by line. By the way, we would expect that. And I'm not even sure who he's talking about. And even if they do say that he's not doing it line by line, who cares? Who cares so long as that the bill benefits all Americans, not just the 0.01%, so that you're robbing, it's called the reverse Robin Hood effect, so that you're robbing the poor, the working class person, in order to benefit the rich that will not even see the money because it means nothing to them. Meanwhile, Jessica Tarlov goes on and she speaks about a Fox poll on border security and immigration. Play that clip.
It's kind of like a fun ad, you know, it's a whatever ad, but it's capturing something that people feel about what's going on right now. And it's perfectly encapsulated in the breakdown. And I appreciate that the Fox poll was so specific about this. Trump is +7 on border security and -7 on immigration. People are thrilled that the border is closed. When you talk about the 24% of Kamala Harris voters that like the immigration policy. I'm sure they like that there's a closed border there, but they don't like the way that ICE is going about this. And I give credit to Tom Homan. He was on The Daily this morning, showed up with the New York Times, sat down, gave a very thoughtful half-an-hour interview. And he's very clear about this, that while they're trying to prioritize the worst first, they are not going to stop the work raids.
Okay, by the way, so I did look it up. It's called PBA, pseudobulbar disorder. It's the pseudobulbar effect, PBA. That's the laughing disease. Meanwhile, earlier this week, Trump posted a pretty angry rant about Fox News on Truth Social. He's really pissed with Fox. Here's what he said. The crooked Fox News polls got the election wrong. I won by much more than they said I would and have been biased against me for years. They are always wrong and negative. It's why MAGA hates Fox News, even though their anchors are great. This has gone on for years, but they never change the incompetent polling company that does their work. Now, a new Fox News poll comes out this morning, giving me a little more than 50% at the border. And yet the border is miraculously perfect. Nobody was able to come in last month. 60,000 people came in with Sleepy Joe in the same month last year. I hate fake pollsters, one of the worst. But Fox will never change their discredited pollster. Let me be very clear about something. The border issue, it's not just Fox News. You see, this is where the adult in the room needs to sit down and say to him, I prefer that you don't put out that post on Truth Social. It's not true. It's easily disproved. It is not a good look. It's just not. This whole border issue is a bunch of guys with AR-15s, masks on their head, in full Kevlar and full gear, going in like what they did the other day to Dodger Stadium in California, literally going in to arrest people who are determined to be undocumented individuals at a baseball game, America's pastime. Seriously? So we go in now to hospitals, we go into houses of worship, we go into schools, and now we're going into sporting events. And you want to know why the poll is saying what the poll is saying? Why can't somebody sit down with him and then just explain to him? It is a terrible, terrible look, reminiscent of the Third Reich. And finally, I want to end on a clip of Sean Hannity threatening Iran, as if anybody needs Sean Hannity to do anything. Play the clip.
Donald Trump knows where you are at this moment. You have been warned. At best, your economy, that will be destroyed. Your refineries, they will be up in smoke. Your infrastructure will be in tatters. You won't have lights to turn on in Iran if you keep going the way you're going. Your military will be shredded. Your weapons and ammunition will be gone. Your nuclear program that you have put so much time, effort, money, energy into, it's utterly destroyed now. It will be further destroyed and capable of rebuilding. Trump's.
Yeah. Again, who is Sean Hannity to issue a warning to the Ayatollah? Who needs him to do that? You think that it doesn't detract from the White House? You got Sean Hannity, what? He's taking liberties because he thinks he's buddy-buddy with Donald? Bullshit. So look, until someone on the inside decides to remember what I'm saying, that you can speak to the president, you can say to him no when it matters, the rest of us are just going to keep watching. We're just going to keep watching, sitting on the sidelines, right? Until ultimately, I don't know, things change. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.